I am freaking excited. This past year, I've become a podcaster, sharing all sorts of really important stories. What about a girl from California who literally went out into the middle of the Turkish coup attempt as an intrepid war correspondent with her camera? One with one of the best science podcasters on the planet, like a hero of mine. He's now a best-selling author, and actually interviewed him about his book. Another with a life coach, also a best-selling author, and one with the founder of one of the largest NGOs operating in Iraq and Syria that honestly made me cry at least twice. Not because I was sad, but because, you know, maybe there's actually hope in the world. They're doing such amazing things. It's been an incredible run. But there's one story my business tribe really needs to hear about way more than any of these. And I need to get you all up to speed as soon as humanly possible. We're about to witness the largest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill. Okay? We are entering a completely world of uncharted water right now.
Have you made any investments in Bitcoin?
So, I mean, I own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account. It is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge, huge deal. Because what you're talking about right now is, for the next 3 to 5 years, an unbelievably better store of value. It is gold 2.0.
I think this is a currency that's really going to work eventually.
Well, I think it is working, and there will be other currencies like it that may be even better. But in the meantime, there's a big industry around Bitcoin, and you know, people have made fortunes out of Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, there is no Bitcoin company, there is no Bitcoin building, there's not even a Bitcoin server anywhere that you could shut down. It is completely distributed. That's what's unique about Bitcoin. It is, for the first time, a way for the two of us to exchange value online without a third-party intermediary. Until the invention of Bitcoin, for you and me to exchange money online, we had to employ a third party, like PayPal, like Visa, like MasterCard, right? And we live in the 21st century. If we want to have a video call to China, we can do that for free. But to send a couple $100, which is essentially just ones and zeros being moved around, costs 5% plus takes over a day.
Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place, and of course for large transactions currency can get pretty inconvenient.
You'll see Bitcoin trading at 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Rick Falkvinia does an excellent analysis. He predicts that Bitcoin will capture between 1 and 10% of the global Forex market, which implies a price of between $100,000 to $1 million per Bitcoin. Most of the people who are on the sidelines not buying Bitcoin today will start to buy Bitcoin when it gets over 1,000, and then a greater percentage of people will definitely plow into Bitcoin when it starts to get over 10,000.
A lot of people are just seeing the charts and thinking, how high will it go? What I'm doing is counting backwards. I mean, this is a transactional currency, and it is a store of value. As such, it is a product and a service competing on a very tangible market for stores of value and for transactional currencies. So what is the size of that market?
Right, and this is important.
And how big a market share can Bitcoin realistically take within a foreseeable time frame? When you ask that question, then you come up with a market cap of Bitcoin total, and then you divide that by the number of Bitcoin in circulation by your estimated time, and seeing how Chinese are buying Bitcoin like crazy. I actually had to adjust this number upwards, but then you come up with a number of about $2 to $5 million per Bitcoin.
Is Bitcoin the currency of the future, or is it the payment system they're developing?
Bingo, it's the payment system. It's the blockchain encryption, and they're interesting things. I think Bitcoin, or the really blockchain encryption that's behind it, has a greater ability to bring more of the world's population out of poverty than anything we've seen.
So you can tell there's a lot of really, really intense stuff going on. So here's what's been happening with us. The past few months, Travis and I have been trading cryptocurrencies, and we've netted about 70% returns on average between the two of us. We diversified into mining because we could actually make way more, and now we're helping people do the same. It's simpler, it's safer, it's more diversified. It just makes more sense. The potential gains with mining, if Bitcoin goes to 20,000 by 2020, are really, really huge. And a few of my favorite technical analysts are calling for a $25,000 Bitcoin in the next year. Like, that's not at all crazy. But what we do with all this money, in my opinion, is way more important. And I want to introduce you to my last podcast guest. His name is Whit Ostrenko, longtime chief of Mosey in Tampa and a fellow Bitcoin miner. Give us a synopsis of the Bitcoin for Charity chapter in your book.
All right. So one of the things I did was start my own not-for-profit. The mission is to eliminate poverty.
I'm a fan. Sign me up.
So, my target audience are disabled veterans, Native Americans, women, single mothers, African-American young men, and teach them how to invest. So I was going to teach them how to make 20% a year on their money.
Right? Because 20% a year in the rest of the world is amazing.
So I was going to get, government grants to, seed $25,000 per veteran. And once I taught them how to invest that, they would make 25,000, and I'd take that 25,000 and give it to another veteran. So now I'm just going to invest one of my trees in Bitcoin mining, and give it to this not-for-profit, which will generate a couple $1 million. And I'm going to fund my own seed money for these others to come in and learn how to do Bitcoin, learn how to do long-term wealth investment.
Right.
And become independent entrepreneur business people. One of these was the start of the Ostrenko Family Foundation. So
nice.
my sister and my 2 children are going to be the board chair, the chairman, the board people.
Yeah.
We're going to determine they can only give the money away. They can't use it for anything else. My brand new 6-week-old grandson, Oscar, doesn't know anything about this, but he's going to be, his whole life will be Bitcoins and the internet.
Right. Yep.
And he's going to go, God, well, my granddad, bless his heart, he passed away a long time ago, but, I started my not-for-profit research business on fighting cancer and Alzheimer's based on my grandfather's donation of these Bitcoins. I have a $100 million research institute.
That is literally making me misty-eyed right now, because that is how the world should frickin' work. So again, this will be the largest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind, and Travis and I are going to help people get a slice of it. We want to help you and the people you care about get on this wave, because it's going to be a once in a lifetime, once in a generation opportunity. Thank you.